Hi, I'm Bridget Carey here with your CNET Inside Scoop, and I'm chatting with Maggie Reardon. She is senior writer and author of the Ask Maggie column, and you're busy explaining the drama that's going on right now with Spectrum and the FCC. Basically, Verizon wants to make a deal with cable companies to do a little bit of exchanging of spectrum, and people are kind of getting worried about whether the FCC will approve this or not. So why are people getting so worked up about this business deal?
Well, Verizon basically has a lot of spectrum already, and the big concern is, are they going to get too much? It's kind of like a big university or a company going into a neighborhood, and they already own a lot of the real estate there, and they're going to buy up a whole bunch more. And the fear is that they'll push out some of the little guys and put in a Foot Locker, in a store or something. So, so that's the fear, and Verizon could very well do that. But what Verizon and the cable companies say is like, look, this is a private deal between two companies or between two entities here. But people on the other side say, wait a minute, Spectrum is a public good. We all own this, the public owns this, and the FCC, which is the agency that's there to determine who gets to use this public good, they need to decide whether it's in the interest of the public to do this. So that's why people are getting so upset about it.
So what are the little guys saying about this? I mean, when you interview them, what are their big concerns?
Well, this is a real David and Goliath kind of challenge for them. There's a lot of lobbying going on in Washington, D.C., but you've got Verizon, which is definitely bigger, has a lot more money to spend. I'd put AT&T in that same camp too. And then you've got all these little guys who just don't have the oomph. They don't have the cash. They don't have the lobbying gravitas, right? So they're all coming together. You've even got T-Mobile and Sprint that are joining their rural carrier association to try to lobby against the bigger players.
Wait, well, Sprint and T-Mobile, I thought they were kind of big, but even they're joining up to make sure that AT&T and Verizon don't grow larger.
Well, you've got AT&T and Verizon, which control over 70% of the market. So T-Mobile and Sprint aren't that big.
Well, why should I really be concerned? Why should I cry if the little guy doesn't get all the spectrum that Verizon does? Aren't I still benefiting from Verizon being stronger and also having more choice with Sprint and T-Mobile and AT&T?
Well, today we have competition, but the fear is what happens when we allow these companies to buy each other up or buy each other's spectrum, and we get more and more consolidation, and we see the bigger players forcing out these little guys. So you really don't want to get to a point where you don't have competition. Look at cable. In a lot of places, it's expensive because people don't have competition. But when you've got a company like Verizon who comes in and they offer Fios or something like that, then you start to see prices come down.
Well, it's interesting to see what decision they make. Thank you, Maggie. Thanks for watching. For CNET, I'm Bridget Carey.